They told you confidence is something you're born with. Either you have it or you don't. Either you walk into a room and command it, or you shrink in the corner hoping no one notices your existence. But that's a lie. And it's a profitable one. Because if confidence is genetic, if it's luck, if it's something only the chosen few possess, then you'll spend your entire life buying books, attending seminars, and consuming content that promises to unlock what you never had. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Confidence isn't a feeling. It's not a personality trait. It's not even real. Confidence is a trick, a neurological illusion, a carefully constructed lie your brain tells itself. And once you understand how the trick works, you can engineer it on demand. In 1977, a psychologist named Albert Bandura discovered something that should have changed everything. He found the exact formula for manufacturing confidence. Not through affirmations, not through positive thinking, but through a systematic manipulation of how your brain processes competence. He called it self-efficacy. The world ignored it, because real power is always kept quiet. Today, I'm going to show you how to weaponize Bandura's research, how to hack your own neurology, how to manufacture unshakable confidence even when everything inside you screams that you're not enough. By the end of this video, you won't be waiting to feel confident. You'll be building it like architecture, brick by brick, choice by choice. Let's begin. The confidence trap. Somewhere along the way, society sold you a fantasy. They said confidence comes from within, that you just need to love yourself, believe in yourself, tell yourself you're worthy, stand in front of a mirror and repeat affirmations until your brain believes the performance. So you tried it. You stood there, looked into your own eyes and said, I am confident, I am powerful, I am enough. And for a moment, maybe it felt good. Maybe you walked out with your chest a little higher, but then reality hit. The first rejection, the first failure, the first moment someone looked at you like you didn't belong, and all those affirmations turned to dust. Because here's what the self-help industry won't tell you. Your brain isn't stupid. You can't lie to it. You can't fake your way into confidence. Your subconscious mind is keeping score, and it knows the difference between what you say and what you've done. That's why affirmations fail. That's why motivational videos stop working after an hour. That's why you can read 100 books and still feel like a fraud. Your brain doesn't respond to words, it responds to evidence. And that's exactly what Bandura understood. He realized that confidence, or what he called self-efficacy, isn't built through belief, it's built through proof. Your brain is a ruthless accountant. It's constantly calculating. Can I do this? Have I done this before? Did I succeed or fail? And based on that data, it either floods you with confidence or paralyzes you with doubt. So, the question isn't how to feel confident. The question is how to give your brain the evidence it needs to make you confident automatically. Most men are stuck in a cycle. They wait to feel confident before they act. But because they never act, they never build evidence. And without evidence, confidence never comes. They're waiting for permission from a brain that's waiting for proof. It's a death spiral. But the ones who rise, the ones who seem untouchable, unshakable, they're not special. They just cracked the code. They stopped waiting for confidence and started manufacturing it. They learned how to trick their brain into believing before it had reason to. And that's what I'm about to show you. The 4 pillars of manufactured confidence. Bandura didn't just theorize. He tested. He worked with people who had crippling phobias, paralyzing anxiety, deep-seated fear. And he turned them into people who could face their terror without flinching, not through therapy, not through medication, through a specific sequence of psychological engineering. He identified 4 sources, 4 pillars that your brain uses to calculate confidence. Master these 4, and you don't need to wait for confidence. You can build it on command. Pillar 1, Mastery Experiences, the Evidence Protocol. This is the foundation. the most powerful source of confidence your brain recognizes. It's simple. Have you done this before? Did you succeed? That's it. Your brain doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about your track record. So if you want confidence, you need wins, not huge ones. Not life-changing victories, just evidence. Small, undeniable proof that you can do hard things. Because every time you succeed, your brain makes a note. And when enough notes stack up, confidence becomes automatic. Here's the problem. Most men aim too high. They want the big win, the impressive achievement, the thing that proves they've made it. So they set massive goals, fail immediately, and give their brain more evidence of inadequacy. That's not strategy. That's self-sabotage. Bandura's method is different. He called it graduated mastery. You don't start with the mountain, you start with the hill. You don't walk into the boardroom and demand respect. You master the hallway first. You build confidence through micro victories so small, your ego won't even notice, but your brain will. Let's say you're terrified of public speaking. The worst thing you can do is sign up for a TED Talk and hope adrenaline carries you. That's not courage, that's suicide. Instead, you start by speaking one sentence out loud when you're alone. That's it. One sentence. Then you record yourself saying a paragraph. Then you speak in front of one person. Then 3. Then 10. Each step is laughably easy, but each step is evidence. And with every small win, your brain recalculates. It updates the probability of success. It shifts from, I can't do this, to, I've done this before. That shift isn't motivational, it's mathematical. Your brain is simply updating its dataset. This is why confidence feels effortless for people who have it. They're not faking it. They're not forcing it. They've just accumulated so much evidence that their brain has no choice but to believe. So stop waiting for the big moment. Start stacking small wins. Today, right now, do one thing that scares you, but only slightly. Then do it again tomorrow, and the day after. Your brain is watching, and it's taking notes. Pillar 2. Vicarious experience, the modeling advantage. Your brain doesn't only learn from your own experiences, it learns from watching others. This is the secret weapon most people ignore. If you see someone like you succeed at something, your brain makes an assumption. If they can do it, maybe I can too. Bandura proved this with his famous Bobo doll experiments. Children who watched adults confidently interact with an inflatable doll were far more likely to do the same. They didn't need to practice. They didn't need affirmations. They just needed to see it done. And their brains absorbed the blueprint. So here's the application. If you want confidence in any domain, find someone who's already walking the path. Not someone unreachable. Not some celebrity or genius who seems superhuman. Find someone close to your starting point. Someone whose success feels possible, not miraculous. Watch them. Study them. Observe how they move, how they speak, how they handle failure. Your brain will start mapping their patterns onto your own potential. This isn't imitation, it's installation. You're giving your subconscious a reference point. Proof that the thing you want is achievable by someone like you. But here's the trap. Most men watch people who are too far ahead. They watch billionaires, elite athletes, geniuses. And instead of feeling inspired, they feel inadequate. Because their brain doesn't see similarity. It sees impossibility. The gap is too wide. So instead of confidence, they get despair. Bandura warned against this. He said the model must be relatable. If you're broke, don't study Elon Musk. Study someone who made their first 10,000. If you're out of shape, don't study Olympians. Study someone who lost their first 20 pounds. The closer the model is to your current reality, the more your brain believes it can replicate the result. And here's the advanced play. Don't just watch success. Watch struggle. Watch people who failed, adjusted, and tried again. Because when your brain sees someone overcome obstacles, it doesn't just learn that success is possible, it learns that failure isn't fatal. And that creates a different kind of confidence. Not the fragile kind that shatters at the first setback, but the resilient kind that expects difficulty and moves forward anyway. Pillar 3. Social persuasion, the external validation code. This one is dangerous because it works, but it's also the easiest to exploit. Your brain is wired to care what others think, not because you're weak, but because for most of human history, being excluded from the tribe meant death. So your nervous system is hypersensitive to social feedback. When someone you respect tells you that you're capable, your brain listens. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it yet. The external voice becomes internal data. And if enough people reinforce the message, your brain starts treating it as evidence. Bandura called this social persuasion, and he found that it works best under specific conditions. The persuader must be credible. They must believe what they're saying. And the encouragement must be realistic, not delusional. So, if you want to build confidence, stop surrounding yourself with people who coddle you. Stop seeking validation from those who tell you what you want to hear. Instead, find people who see your potential and hold you to it. People who believe in the version of you that doesn't exist yet but could. But here's where most people mess this up. They become dependent on external validation. They need constant reassurance, constant praise, constant confirmation that they're on the right path. And the moment that validation stops, their confidence collapses. That's not strength, that's addiction. Real confidence uses social persuasion as a catalyst, not a crutch. You let others plant the seed, but you water it with action. You let them tell you what's possible, but you prove it to yourself. Because external voices can spark confidence, but only internal evidence can sustain it. And here's the dark side. Social persuasion works both ways. Just as encouragement can build you up, criticism can tear you down. One dismissive comment from the wrong person at the wrong time, and your brain updates its calculations. Suddenly, confidence evaporates. Not because you changed, but because someone else changed the narrative. So you must be ruthlessly selective about whose opinions you allow into your head. Not everyone deserves access to your internal scoreboard. Not every voice should get a vote. Choose your influences like you choose your food, because what you consume mentally will either nourish you or poison you. Pillar 4. Physiological state, the body's vote. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't just look at what you've done and what others say. It looks at what your body is doing right now, and it makes a judgment. Am I safe or am I threatened? Am I strong or am I weak? If your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, your breath is shallow, your brain interprets that as danger. And when your brain senses danger, it pulls confidence off the table. Because confidence is a luxury. It's something you can afford when you're safe. But when survival is in question, confidence gets replaced with caution. This is why anxiety and confidence can't coexist. It's not a personality flaw. It's biology. Your body is sending signals that override your mind. And unless you learn to control those signals, your confidence will always be at the mercy of your nervous system. Bandura understood this. He knew that if you want to feel confident, you must first feel calm, not relaxed, not passive, but physiologically regulated. You need to teach your body that the situation, whatever it is not a threat. So here's the protocol. Before any high-stakes moment, you reset your physiology. You slow your breathing. You relax your shoulders. You unclench your jaw. These aren't just calming techniques. They're signals. You're telling your brain, I'm not in danger. I'm in control. And here's the trick. You don't wait until you feel calm to act. You act calm first. You move like someone who's confident. You speak like someone who's certain. And your brain reading the signals from your body, starts to believe it. This is what people mean when they say fake it till you make it. But they get the mechanism wrong. You're not lying to the world. You're lying to your nervous system, and your nervous system is gullible. Stand tall, and your brain thinks you're dominant. Speak slowly, and your brain thinks you're in control. Make eye contact, and your brain thinks you're unafraid. These aren't just performative tricks. They're neurological inputs. Your body is constantly feeding data to your brain, and your brain uses that data to decide how confident you should feel. So, if you're sitting hunched over, breathing shallow, avoiding eye contact, you're programming anxiety. You're telling your brain that you're small, threatened, weak, and your brain will respond accordingly. It will pull confidence and replace it with fear. But if you change the inputs, you change the output. This is why athletes have pre-game rituals, why leaders have power poses, why warriors have battle cries. They're not being dramatic. They're hacking their physiology. They're forcing their body to send the right signals so their brain has no choice but to manufacture confidence. The synthesis, engineering unshakable confidence. Now, here's where it gets powerful. These 4 pillars don't work in isolation, they compound. Mastery experiences give you evidence. Vicarious experiences give you a blueprint. Social persuasion gives you momentum. And physiological control gives you stability. When you combine all 4, you create something most people never experience. Confidence that doesn't waver. Confidence that doesn't depend on how you feel in the moment. Confidence that's built on such a strong foundation that rejection, failure, and criticism can't shake it. Because it's not based on belief. It's based on architecture. Think of it like building a house. Mastery experiences are the foundation. Every small win, every completed challenge, every moment you did the thing you thought you couldn't, that's another brick. Vicarious learning is the blueprint. You're studying the design, learning from those who've built before you. Social persuasion is the scaffolding. It supports you while you're building, but it's not the structure itself. And physiological control? That's the weather resistance. It ensures that when the storms come, and they will, your confidence doesn't collapse. Most people try to build confidence with one pillar. They rely only on their own experiences, but they aim too high and fail. Or they only watch others succeed, but never take action themselves. Or they seek constant validation, but never develop internal proof. Or they try to control their nerves, but have no evidence to back it up. That's why their confidence is fragile. It's built on sand. But when you use all 4 pillars together, you're building on bedrock. The daily practice, your confidence blueprint. So, let's make this practical. How do you actually implement the Bandura method starting today? Here's your protocol. Every single day, you're going to feed your brain evidence across all 4 pillars. For mastery experiences, you do one difficult thing. Just one. It doesn't need to be heroic. It just needs to be slightly outside your comfort zone. Make the phone call you've been avoiding. Have the conversation you've been delaying. Attempt the skill you've been afraid to try. Do it badly if you have to. Just do it. Because completion is evidence, and evidence builds confidence. For vicarious learning, you spend 15 minutes studying someone who's 1 step ahead of you. Not 10 steps. 1. Watch their interviews. Read their writing. Observe how they think, how they move, how they handle obstacles. You're not copying them. You're absorbing their blueprint. You're showing your brain that what you want is possible for someone like you. For social persuasion, you seek one piece of credible feedback. Not from someone who will coddle you, from someone who will tell you the truth, someone who sees your potential but also sees your gaps. Let them tell you what's possible. Let them challenge you to rise, but don't become dependent on it. Treat it like fuel, not food. And for physiological control, you practice regulation. Every morning, before you start your day, You reset your nervous system. 5 minutes of slow breathing, shoulders back, spine straight. You move your body like someone who's already won, not because you feel confident, but because you're teaching your body what confidence looks like. Do this for 30 days, just 30, and watch what happens. Your brain will start to rewire. The thing that used to paralyze you will start to feel manageable. The person you used to envy will start to feel relatable. The voice in your head that said you couldn't will start to go quiet. Not because you convinced it with affirmations, but because you buried it with evidence. Confidence was never meant to be a gift. It was always meant to be a skill. The world told you otherwise because confident people are dangerous. They don't buy what they don't need. They don't follow who they don't respect. They don't fear what they understand. So they sold you the lie that confidence is innate, that you either have it or you don't, that you need to wait for some magical moment when you finally feel ready. But Bandura exposed the truth. Confidence is engineered, it's built, it's manufactured through a specific process, and that process is available to anyone willing to do the work. You don't need to be chosen. You don't need to be special. You don't need to wait for permission. You just need to understand the formula and execute it relentlessly. So stop waiting to feel confident. Stop hoping it will arrive one day. Start building it today, brick by brick, win by win, evidence by evidence. Your brain is watching, and it's keeping score. Give it the data it needs, and confidence won't be something you chase anymore. It will be something you own.